Hey guys, what is up? This is Kendra with Signing Agent Basics. Happy 2026. This is my first live stream of the year. I am super excited to be doing this with you guys again, giving you more information, more help, more training, more mentoring that you need to become a productive and profitable signing agent. So I was thinking for a while, what should I do for this first live stream of the year? A lot of times I do a how to become a signing agent video because obviously people want to know all the time what the first steps are to becoming a signing agent. However, I know the signing agent landscape has kind of shifted. I think for a lot of people who have been interested in becoming a signing agent, it happened for most people around 2020 and 2021 when we were experiencing a bunch of unprecedented stuff in this country. And the byproduct of that was just a ton of real estate business. So during that time, 2020, 2021, it was really easy to become a signing agent and really easy to get business as a signing agent. However, things have kind of gone back to normal since then. And we're starting to hit, or we have hit, more reality of what it is like to actually be a signing agent and what it takes to actually get business. So one of the big things that I hear from a lot of new and aspiring signing agents is, I've got my commission, I got certified. People told me I was going to get business if I got my commission and I got certified, and I ain't getting no business. So what is the deal? What's going on? What do I need to get business as a signing agent? So I decided to start this year off a little bit different. And what we're going to talk about today is why most signing agents never get their first signing and how you can avoid that in 2026. Guys, I'm going to go over some of the pitfalls, the biggest pitfalls that I see signing agents, new and aspiring signing agents, doing and not doing that are causing them to not get work as a signing agent. It is still absolutely possible to become a very successful, productive, profitable signing agent, but it takes more than just getting your commission and just getting certified to do it. And I'm going to tell you guys the top reasons. These won't be the only reasons, but the top reasons that I see that are causing problems for potential signing agents. And I'm also going to give you actionable steps. I'm going to tell you the things that you need to do to overcome these things so that you can get your first signing in 2026. But you guys know I got to go through all my intro stuff before I do that. So first of all, whether you are watching this on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you are watching this live stream from, please do me a favor. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate it. It lets me know that you guys are watching, that you're enjoying this content, and that you want me to keep on making this type of content. Then, if you really, really like me, what I would love for you to do is to head over to YouTube. Again, make sure you hit like on the YouTube video, but then hit that subscribe button and then hit the notification bell. You guys know I go live at least once a month and I drop other content throughout the month. So if you want to make sure that you never miss a live stream and you never miss any of the content that I drop, make sure over on YouTube you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell. And as always, some of you guys are already telling me, I always want to know where you guys are from. I always want to know whether you are an aspiring agent, a new signing agent, or a veteran signing agent. And today, I also want to know whether or not you have done your first loan signing. So whether you are watching this live or you are watching this on the replay, I need you to tell me three things. First, let me know what city and state you are in while you are watching. Let me know your city and your state. Then let me know whether you are an aspiring signing agent. That means that you haven't done any signings, you haven't maybe gotten commission, you maybe haven't gotten certified, any of that stuff. You're just kind of checking all of this signing agent stuff out, trying to see what it is all about. You are an aspiring signing agent, or you are a new signing agent. You have been a signing agent for 1 year or less, or you are a veteran signing agent. You've been doing this signing agent thing for more than a year. You're a pro, you're a vet, you know what you're doing. You just don't here to be nosy to see what I'm talking about today. So again, let me know what city and state you are from, whether you are an aspiring signing agent, a new signing agent, or a veteran signing agent. And then let me know whether or not you have done your first loan signing. And then guys, before I start seeing where we got people watching from, I want you guys to help me out if you are watching the live stream. I always have some people who come onto the live stream a little bit late. I get it, life happens, and they always want to know whether or not a replay will be available. So if you were watching this on the live stream and you see somebody in the comments going, oh my gosh, I missed a part of it, will the replay be available? Yes, let them know the replay will be available as soon as the live stream is over. All right, let's see who we got in here. We got folks in here. Happy 2026 to you as well from Philadelphia. Good to see you. We've got, so I can't always tell what your name is from your username, but we got a young lady here from Tampa, Florida. You guys know I'm originally from Florida. Awesome to see you. We've got somebody here from Chesapeake, Virginia, semi-veteran. So been doing this for a little bit, but haven't done any loan signings in the new year. So, okay, it's been a week. So, you know, it's still time to catch up though. We've got folks here from Rockville, Maryland, a new signing agent. So I'm going to assume you haven't done any signings yet. We got folks here from San Francisco, the Bay Area in California, another Cali person, an aspiring signing agent. So you haven't done any signings yet. We've got an aspiring signing agent from my city, San Antonio, Texas. Good to see you. We've got Cynthia here from South Carolina, commissioned and about to take the certification test. So this is right on time for you to let you know what you need to do after that to make sure that you get business in 2026. We've got Hakeem on. Hakeem is actually a new student of mine. So he's watching the YouTube. And then we've got a student Q&A coming up in just a couple of hours. I saw your questions, Hakeem. We're going to go over them in the student Q&A. He is an aspiring signing agent. We've got Juanita here from Nashville, a new signing agent. Happy New Year from Dallas. Happy to see you. A new commissioned signing agent, commissioned in 2025. Haven't had any signings yet. So guys, again, whether you are watching live or you are watching on the replay, continue to let me know what city and state you are from, whether you are an aspiring signing agent, a new signing agent, or a veteran signing agent, and let me know whether or not you have done your first loan signing yet. But I'm going to get moving because you guys know I always have a lot of information to share. I want to make sure that I get it all in for you. And then, yes, as always, guys, there is going to be a Q&A session at the end of this live stream. If it is possible, try to hold your questions until the end. I tell folks all the time, I'm a one-woman shop over here. So if you put your questions in the chat while I'm going through the information, I might miss it. So if it is possible, try to hang on to your questions at the end. And if for some reason I miss your question, I apologize in advance, but I always do my best to go back and answer any questions that I may have missed during the live stream. And if you are watching on the replay, you haven't missed out. You can put your questions in the comments. I always do my best, again, to go back and check any messages and questions that are left from folks who are watching the replay. And as always, 2026 hasn't changed this. As always, guys, I've got goodies and freebies for you down in the description box of the YouTube video. People always want to know. So for those of you who already know this, I'm sorry, but there's always new people who come in. And so I always want to make sure folks know what's going on. The goodies are in the description box of the YouTube video. So first, if you are watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn, you got to come on over here to YouTube. Find this video on my Signing Agent Basics YouTube channel. Then, if you're on your desktop or laptop computer, if you look underneath the video, underneath the title of the video, you're going to see a little bit of the description box, and then you are going to see the word more. You need to click on the word more to open up the description box. But if you are watching this on your cell phone or mobile device, like most of us do, there's just one little extra step. Again, you're going to look underneath the video, underneath the title of the video, and again, you're going to see the word more. Click on the word more. The description box on your mobile device is going to open up a little bit. and you're going to see the word more again. Click the word more a second time. Then, whether you are watching this on your laptop, desktop, cell phone, mobile device, the description box will open all the way up and you will see all of the information that is in the description box. And all of the freebies that I have for you, you just have to click a link to be able to download those freebies. So, first freebie that I have for you is my free new signing agent checklist. Again, the biggest question I always get from people is step by step, can you tell me what I need to do to become a signing agent? So guys, I made a checklist for you so you don't miss any of the steps. If you are an aspiring signing agent, or even if you're a new signing agent and you just want to make sure you didn't miss anything, make sure that you download that free new signing agent checklist. The other freebie that I have for you is my free AI guide for notaries. Guys, AI is going to come in handy to help you with some of the things that I'm going to be talking about in this video, but it takes a little bit of time to learn how to use it correctly. It's a little bit of a learning curve. So I came up with an AI guide specifically for notaries to help with the certain requests that we will have for AI so that you can get the information and the answers that you need out of AI a little bit faster and a little bit easier. We had some other folks telling me where they were from. I'm not going to read them all, but I want to put you guys on the screen because, again, I appreciate each and every one of you that takes time out on your Saturdays to come and hang out with me for these live streams. But guys, I'm seeing folks here from all over the country watching. I love it. I love being able to help people from so many different places. But guys, we're going to go ahead and get into the meat of this video because I know y'all ain't just come to see me. Y'all came here for some answers, and I don't blame you. I think that a lot of people who become signing agents, and especially in the last couple of years, kind of get swept in a little bit with the social media hype. There's a lot of, oh my gosh, all you have to do to make $10,000 a month is get a notary commission and get a certification, and you'll be able to make thousands and thousands of dollars and quit your real job and all this kind of stuff. And look, guys, you absolutely can. That is an absolute possibility. I have been a full-time signing agent since 2007. I have not had a quote unquote real W-2 job since 2007. So being a signing agent, being a notary can absolutely replace that income, and it can absolutely give you the type of lifestyle that you want. However, like most stuff on the internet and on social media, it is not quite as simple as folks like to make it seem. Because here's the reality. Everybody wants to sensationalize it so that you continue to watch their social media information. And one of the things that I have always done, guys, is try to tell y'all the truth. I respect the signing agent profession. I like people to come into this profession knowing what to really expect. Because to me, if you come into this prepared, then you're going to be able to do a better job and you're going to be able to get the results that you really want out of this. So I always try to tell the truth, even if that doesn't always sound fantastical. Because of course, everybody would love to hear, all you got to do is get your commission, take a little test, and people will just start throwing money at you. I really wish it was that simple, but we know it's not. So again, for those of you who are commissioned and certified, but not getting business, the truth that I have to tell you is that being commissioned and being certified is literally the bare minimum. Everybody has that. Just because you are commissioned and just because you are certified, I know it feels like an accomplishment, and it is an accomplishment. Don't get me wrong, but everybody who's a signing agent, for the most part, is commissioned and certified, okay? Despite the social media hype, it takes more than that to become a successful signing agent. Now, there may be many, many, many reasons why signing agents aren't getting business. However, I'm going to go over what I recognize and what I see as the top 4 reasons that people don't get business, even though they are commissioned and certified. And I really want you guys to pay attention to these top 4. Tell the truth within yourself, whether or not you have or have not been doing some of these things so that you can get the change and the results that you want. All right. So first thing that I see as reasons why people, even though they are commissioned and certified, are not getting work, it's because companies don't assign work to people who look unprepared to execute a signing in real life, even if you are certified. Okay. Again, I know, especially if you are an aspiring signing agent or if you are a new signing agent, you probably thought that being commissioned and being certified was going to prepare you to do loan signings. But here's the reality: it doesn't. And title companies and signing companies don't want to use someone that they feel is risky. Like a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm just going to fake it till I make it. I'm just going to go out and do some signings. And, if I mess up, oh, well, that's how you learn, kind of thing. But title companies and signing companies don't want to work with people who either have that mentality or have that attitude, or even people that just kind of look like that's what it's going to be for them. Because here's the deal: every loan signing, and again, I'm talking specifically about loan signings, not general notary work, not other things that notaries can do, even though the information I'm going to give in this video can help you out in these other areas as well. I'm specifically talking about real estate loan signings. Every signing that you do, guys, is an extremely important transaction, not only for the signers, the buyers or the borrowers of the transaction. It is important for the real estate agent. It's important for the title company. It's important for the lender. There are a ton of people that are counting on you as the signing agent doing this signing right the first time. It is very risky for a title company or a signing company to use someone who seems unprepared. You're just upping the risk that this signing is not going to close on time. They don't want to use anybody that's going to be risky, because again, you're not just risking your stuff. You are risking things for the signer. You're risking things for the mortgage company. You're risking things for the real estate agent. You're risking things for the title company. There is a pyramid of people that you are putting at risk if you are unprepared. So if you sound, act, or present yourself like an unprepared provider, you will not be chosen, even if you have a commission and you have a certification. So as a new signing agent, you may think, well, how do they even know? How do they know I'm unprepared? How can they tell, that I haven't maybe done signings before, that kind of thing? Well, let me tell you, you're easier to spot than you think. You really are. I can tell just from the things that people say, the questions that they ask, that they are a new signing agent. And that not so much that they are a new signing agent, but that they are an unprepared signing agent. Because here's the deal: a lot of new signing agents think, well, I'm new, nobody's going to give me business. Yes, they will. People don't care if you're new. People care whether or not you are prepared or unprepared. So if you are new and you appear to be unprepared, then yeah, they're not going to send you business. But if you are new and you appear to be prepared, then the likelihood that you are going to be sent business is much higher. So what are some of the signs that instantly tell people that you are unprepared? First thing is going to be hesitant phone answers. I may ask somebody, or the signing service or the title company may ask you a simple question about a loan signing. If you are hesitant, if you don't immediately come back with an answer, they may quiz you a little bit. So, and be like, hey, what form shows how much money the signer has to bring to closing? I can name 2 forms really quick. But if you are hesitant, then that demonstrates that you are an unprepared provider. Your profile being incomplete, whether your profile is on SnapDocs, whether it's on the NNA, whether you put a profile on a signing services website, your incomplete profile makes you look unprepared. Being vague about your experience makes you look unprepared. And again, I know a lot of new signing agents think, well, if I just kind of avoid the how many signings have you done question, then they're more likely to give me business. It's actually the opposite. They know that if you are vague, it's because you haven't done any. And if you are vague about it, you're saying that you have not prepared in any other way to accurately do a signing. Shaky explanations. Again, a lot of questions that you're going to be asked have a quick, decisive answer. If you are not able to give a quick, decisive answer, it's immediate. People can immediately tell that you are unprepared. So I know people then are going, well, I'm new. I haven't done any signings. So how can I prepare myself, or how can I demonstrate to people that I am prepared if I'm new and I haven't done this before? So here are things that you can do to make yourself prepared and appear to be prepared, even if you've never done a loan signing before. The first thing is going to be to script and rehearse intake calls. You're going to have to talk to people, guys. You're going to have to talk to title companies, signing service people. You're going to have to talk to people. They're going to ask you questions. So you need to start researching what are some of those questions. And then you need to prepare 30 to 60-second responses for those common questions. They might ask you about your printing ability. They may ask you about your your scanner access. They may ask you about turnaround times. They may ask you about fees. They may ask you about your experience. Do you have an answer prepared? These are the types of things that you need to think about, because these questions are going to be asked, and come up with an answer now and be prepared to smoothly give that answer when you are asked. You will look prepared when you do that. The next thing you need to do is complete and optimize your profile. Guys, I don't care how many profiles you are filling out. Again, whether it's SnapDocs, the NNA, signing services, you're part of your job, or your main job as a new signing agent, is to fill out profiles to let people know that you are prepared and available to work. But if those profiles are incomplete, it makes you look unprepared. So you want to fill out every field on signing services and directory sites. So whether they're asking about your experience, your equipment, your insurance, your availability, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you fill out every single one of those fields with specific, measurable statements. Again, it should not be vague. It should be specific. Another thing that you can do, and this is very, very important if you have not done signings before, is you need to do mock signings until you are fluent. You should be getting on your friends' nerves. Every friend and family member that you know, you should be doing mock signings with them. You need to simulate full signings with your friends and family to sharpen your timing, your phrasing, and your document handling so that you sound confident and competent. The first time that you go through a signing in real life should not be the first time that you go through a signing. You should practice it with sample documents until you feel comfortable. This is going to help you when companies ask you questions about why do you feel, if you've done no signings, why do you feel like you can do a signing for them? If you've done numerous mock signings, you are going to feel comfortable and you're going to be able to answer those questions. And when you're doing those mock signings, guys, tell your friends to ask you questions like they are real signers, okay? You don't want to just practice going through it smooth with no hiccups. People in real life ask questions. So your friends and family members that are helping you, you need to tell them, don't go overboard, but act like this is a real signing. Ask me the questions that you would ask in a real signing situation. So that way you will have practice fielding those questions before you get to a real signing. And you won't be sitting there, again, unprepared. It is something that you will have already run into. And the next thing you need to do is standardize your pre-signing communication. The first time that you get an assignment should not be the first time that you go, oh my gosh, so should I email them? Should I text them? What should I say? What should I do? All of your pre-signing communication, you should have a system set up before you ever do a signing. And this is one of the things that I help my students with. I give them my pre-signing communication step by step so they know what I do. But you should have basically templates of messages or emails that you use to confirm to the people that hired you, whether it's a signing service or a title company, that you've arrived at the signing, that everything went well, that it's been completed, and that you're going to be dropping the documents off today. These are things that the people who hired you want to know. And instead of having them track you down to try to get those answers, you should be sending them that information ahead of time. They're going to love working with you if you provide them the information that they need without even having to ask for it, guys. I'm telling you. So you need to have these messages already templated before you do your first signing. You're going to be nervous your first signing. So you don't want to have to worry about things like making up, creating a message while you're already nervous about doing a signing. These should be the things that you are working on before you get your first signing to make sure that you are prepared. All right. So the second reason that I see that people who are commissioned and certified end up not getting any signings is because they have poor outreach and poor marketing to the right decision makers. And again, guys, I'm talking about loan signings. I'm not talking about general notary work. I'm not talking about online notarizations right now. Those have slightly different decision makers. I'm talking about real estate loan signings. Part of your job, again, to make sure that you get business is to reach out and market to the people who can give you business. Just being available does not generate requests. This is not the Field of Dreams. I don't know, you guys are kind of young. Y'all might not have ever seen that movie, but there was a phrase in that movie, if you build it, they will come. All right. I promise you, just because you have a commission, just because you have a certification, that ain't gonna make them come. Okay. You have to target, message, and follow up with the people who actually hire signing agents. You got to go out and get the business. And I've talked about this in other videos of mine where I talk about the difference between having a business and having a job. With a job, work is given to you. When you run a business, which is what being a signing agent is, you have to go out and find the work. And I know that's a little bit different. Actually, that's a lot of bit different from most of us who have had regular jobs. It feels really weird to have to go out and get work, but that is what has to happen for you as a signing agent. So again, what do these companies see? How do they know that your marketing isn't good marketing? What from their point of view, what makes it clear to them that they go, oh yeah, they're new, they're unprepared, they don't know how to market? What are the things that they see? Well, the first is generic one-off emails with no follow-up. Now, one of the things that I do not do is I do not give my students a specific marketing email to send out, because people send these messages out. And if a title company gets the exact same message from 5, 6, 10 other signing agents, and then you send that same message as well, it comes off as generic. They're just like, oh, they didn't write this. This is a script that somebody gave them. You don't want that. You don't want your message to come off as generic. And I promise you, you are not the only signing agent reaching out to a particular signing service. You're not the only signing agent reaching out to a particular title company. And if they see different signing agents sending pretty much the exact same message, they know that you're really unprepared. You're just doing a copy and paste. And that is not the type of person that they want to hire. The next thing that companies see that shows them that you don't know how to market and you're not marketing properly is targeting the wrong contact. You're not reaching the decision makers. You're not reaching the people who actually will hire the signing agent. If you're messaging Sue in accounting, she doesn't hire the signing agent, so why are you bugging Sue? You need to figure out who the right decision makers are in each situation. And it's going to be a different person in each situation. If you are messaging the wrong decision maker, you're showing that you're unprepared. You're showing that you don't know how to market. And that makes them feel like you don't know how to do this job. Another thing is not tracking your outreach results. I would love to say that you're going to get a yes on your first outreach, on your first email, on your first contact. But here's the reality. More than likely, you're not. More than likely, that first contact, that first touch is just kind of, think of it like an introduction. For the most part, you have to reach out to people a few times, several times, in order for them to send you business. So you need to track who you're reaching out to, when you reached out to them, and what you said to them. And that flows into the next thing so that you can give consistent messaging. You want to make sure that you are not saying wildly different things in your messages. Your messages need to be consistent. It needs to be consistent across the contact that you're talking to, and it also needs to be consistent across the different platforms. You should not be saying wildly different things in your SnapDoc profile than you are saying when you talk to a title company. It should be pretty consistent messaging. So again, what are the actionable steps? What are the things that you can do to avoid this poor marketing that will lead you to not getting business, even though you're commissioned and even though you're certified? So first step is you need to map the decision makers. You need to find out who are the people in this organization that actually decide which signing agents get hired. So you need to identify, if you are talking to a title company, you need to identify the escrow officer, their escrow assistants, their signing coordinators, the local title managers, and then you need to target your message to their role. Each one of these people in this organization have a slightly different job. And any one of these people actually could be the decision maker on who to hire as a signing agent. But my message, if I'm talking to an escrow officer, is different than my message if I'm talking to the escrow assistant. It's different than my message if I'm talking to the signing coordinator or the title manager. Your messaging is going to be a little bit different. And you may be like, well, who are these people and what are their positions? Again, that's something I help my students with, but a simple Google search, guys. You can Google to see what an escrow officer is, what an escrow assistant is, what a signing coordinator is, what a title manager is. You can Google and see what their job is. And then that will help you to put your messaging or to phrase your messaging properly for their particular role. And again, this is where AI, ChatGPT, can come in clutch. Because some people are like, well, I'm not great at writing good messages and that kind of stuff. I don't know necessarily specifically what I should say if it's an escrow officer. This is why you need to download my AI guide for notaries, because then you can use tools like ChatGPT and that can help you craft an excellent message. And it can also help you focus it to the particular person and their role. So you need to map the decision makers, figure out who are the people in this organization who actually hire signing agents, and then target your outreach to them. Don't use the same message or the same method of contact for everyone. Make sure that your outreach is specific to the person you are reaching out to, and then gather information about them during the contact. Personally, I like to speak to people face to face. And I know a lot of people these days don't like that. A lot of folks don't like it. I tell people all the time, real estate in a lot of ways is still very old school. It's still very who you know. It's still getting to know people face to face. But whether you're talking to people face to face, whether you're talking to people on the phone, whether you're sending them emails or text messages, you need to specify your message to that person and to that role. So if I'm talking to an escrow officer and, she tells me, you know what, I never really have time to talk on the phone. I really love email communication better. Even though I like talking to people on the phone or face to face, if she specifically said she prefers email, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch to email communication with this person, and then vice versa. You may have someone who says they hate emails. They have a million emails. They don't want to see another email. They would rather talk to somebody on the phone or face to face. Then guess what? You got to get out of your comfort zone and talk to that person on the phone or face to face for your best possibility of getting business for them. Because again, it's not about you and what makes you comfortable. It's about doing what you need to do to get business from that person. And again, you're not going to use the same message for everyone. Everybody who is hiring a signing agent has a different pressure point. They have a different need. Some people want a signing agent who is fast. Some people want to make sure that their signing agent is extra professional because maybe they've had unprofessional signing agents in the past. Everybody's going to have a different need. So you want to target your message to that person to let them know that you can meet their specific need. The next actionable step is you need to follow up consistently. Again, guys, I know people want to send one email message and expect to get tons and tons of business from a person or from a company, but that is just normally not the reality. 99.9% of the times, that is not what happens. You normally have to follow up. So you need to develop a schedule for polite, professional follow-ups. And then one of the things that I like to do that separates me from a lot of other people is I will include specific positive information that I gathered about the contact. So you want to make sure when you're talking to people that it's not all business. Because here's the thing, people like working with people that they like. People like to send business to people that they like. So I try to quickly build some sort of rapport about the person, find something, that's not necessarily businessy about that person, and discuss that with them. I live here in San Antonio. So a lot of times when I walk into, an escrow officer's office, I might see that they're a Spurs fan. And I will talk to them about the Spurs. It doesn't have to be a long conversation, but hey, did you see that game last night? What did you think? We won, we lost, blah, blah, blah. Or I'll do the opposite. Let's say I walk into somebody's office and they're not a Spurs fan. Maybe they're a Lakers fan. I'll be like, oh my gosh, can't believe you're a Lakers fan. I was going to work with you. I'm gonna have to think about it now because I see that you're a Lakers fan. I don't know, but you want to find something about that person that's not just business, but a little bit personal, and then follow up with them. And when you follow up with them, add that little personal thing. So again, if I'm talking to someone, they're a Spurs fan, when I send a follow-up email, again, maybe the Spurs just won last night, I'm going to say something about the Spurs winning last night because I know that they are a Spurs fan. You want to follow up and you want to include positive information in that follow-up. And the next actionable step that you want to take is you want to make sure that you are leveraging warm introductions. So talking to somebody without an introduction, talking to somebody that you don't know is called cold calling. Cold calling is uncomfortable, right? Nobody likes cold calling. We don't like it when people cold call on us. So instead of cold calling, you want to get somebody to refer you to somebody in the business. You know real estate agents. Real estate agents know people in title. Talk to your friends who are real estate agents and have them introduce you to people who are in title. It's just that simple. And then when you have a referral, that person is more likely to use you. Now, again, that's not a magic bullet. You still need to do all the other things that I'm telling you. You still need to come off as prepared. You still need to follow up with them. You still need to do those things, but your introduction is better. It's warm. So make sure that you're asking your current clients or colleagues for introductions to title companies or even people in signing services if they know them. Referrals are faster than cold outreach. All right. So the next thing that I see that causes people who are commissioned and certified to not get signings is you are not demonstrating the specific qualities that companies value most. Now, I'm going to tell you, as a signing agent, pretty much the number one thing, all of these things are important, but the number one thing that you need to demonstrate is accuracy. You need to be accurate. You need to be error-free. When you do a loan signing for a company, a title company, or a signing service, their biggest hope is that the documents are going to come back error-free. Because even if there is one error, it might cause the entire funding or completion of the loan to be pushed back a day or 2 or 3. And let's say, somebody's trying to buy a house or sell a house. Now they can't get into that house or they can't sell that house until those errors are corrected. That is a huge, huge deal. So accuracy is probably the biggest thing that title companies and signing services want, but they want other stuff as well. They want somebody who can communicate. They don't want to have to chase you down to figure out if the signing went well or not. They want somebody who is going to communicate with them. They want somebody who is professional. They want someone who is reliable. All of these qualities are extremely important, and you need to be demonstrating these qualities outside of loan signings. Because here's the deal. If you send an email that's full of typos, they are not going to believe that you have an eye for detail, that you have an eye for accuracy. If you have typos in your email, they're going to assume that you're going to have errors in the loan signings. Companies hire to reduce risk and save time. They are going to pick the person that they feel is going to make their risk as low as possible. So if your behavior or your processes suggest that you are going to make avoidable mistakes, you will not be selected. even if you're certified. And here's the other thing that's different, guys, about having a business and having a job. They may not tell you. They may not tell you why they're not choosing to use you, because it's not their job to train you. It's not their job to walk you through what you need to do better. A lot of times what happens is you just don't hear from people, okay? So these are things that you need to be checking and double checking on your own. So what are the signs that companies see that show them that you don't have the qualities that they want? So again, we're going to go back to your profile. If your profile is weak or if it is vague, that's a pretty good sign that you don't have the qualities that they're looking for. Again, typos, spelling errors, grammatical errors, and in your communication with them or on your profile. Those are things that tell them, hey, this person, again, does not have an eye for accuracy. Unclear communication. It's important that you're able to communicate with them, and it is important that you are able to communicate with signers. If your communication with them is unclear, they're not going to want to put you in front of their signers because they know or they believe that your communication with the signers is also going to be unclear. Inconsistent reliability. If you say you're going to call or email them on a particular day and you don't call or email them on a particular day, you come off as unreliable. They don't want to use someone who is unreliable. Late arrival. Again, showing up on time for appointments is important. So let's say an escrow officer does agree to meet with you to talk to you about possibly sending you work. And you guys are scheduled to meet at 1 o'clock and you don't show up till 1:05 or 1:10. You're demonstrating that you don't have the quality that they need. And I don't know why. We live in a time where people think being 5, 10, 15 minutes late is okay. And it's not. It's really not. It is important for you to be punctual. So if you show up for a meeting with a potential client late, the odds of you getting business for them are going to be low. So what are the actionable steps? What are the steps that you can take as a new or aspiring signing agent to avoid this? So the first thing you're going to want to do is master common signing pitfalls. You need to know what the top errors are that are normally committed by signing agents, and you want to practice checkpoints to help you prevent those errors. And again, you might say, well, I'm new. I don't know what those common errors are. This is where training on top of that certification is important. Getting training or mentoring from someone who actually does this, who can tell you these are what the top errors are, is important. Because again, you don't know what the errors are or could be if you are new. The next actionable step that you want to take is to adopt a rigid communication cadence. My communication with the title companies that I work with is very regimented. I say certain things and certain steps along the way every single time. So if they don't hear from me at a particular step, they realize, oh, something must be wrong, because Kendra always communicates this way at this time during this step of the process. And so there have been times where there've been miscommunication between me and the title company, where maybe I misunderstood something or they misunderstood something, and we were able to figure it out because they didn't get the communication from me during the process like they normally do. And it's nothing that they've asked me to do. This is a communication cadence that I've set up. But because I am very consistent in doing things the same way, they notice when they don't get something from me. So you should have a communication cadence to confirm bookings, to let people know that you've arrived at signings, to text or send a message when you're there. Let them know. Send them a message when the signing has been completed. Let them know when the package has been dropped off. If you let them know these things ahead of time, then they won't bug you about it. The next actionable step that you need to take is to have a post-signing checklist. Guys, don't just try to do this off the seat of your pants, especially when you're new, okay? Again, you want to verify the errors that are most commonly made. You need to have a checklist to make sure that you're not committing those errors. So make sure that you have copies of their IDs. Make sure that everything that needs to be initialed has been initialed. Make sure that everything has been dated. Have a checklist, especially when you are new. Because when you're new, again, you don't always remember everything that you need to do. Have a checklist so that you go through everything every single time to avoid errors. And the next actionable step that you can take is to request feedback after every job, especially when you're new, guys. So again, this is assuming you get a signing from a company. You do the signing with them. Request feedback from them after it. Send them a short message, thank them for the business, and then ask them, hey, is there anything I could have improved on in this signing? And was there anything that I did that you really liked during this signing? And this will also help you to tweak your checklist. Because if they say, oh man, well, we really would have liked it if you had let us know when you had arrived at the signing, and that's something that you weren't doing before, you can add that to your checklist. So the next sign in that you do for them, instead of having them be in the dark, you're going to send them a message and they're going to go, oh, I love it when people let me know when they get to the signings. And this is the thing that is going to want to encourage them to send you more signings. All right. So the fourth thing that I'm going to go over, and again, this isn't all of the reasons, but these are the top four. The fourth reason that people who are commissioned and certified end up not getting loan signings is because they cannot clearly communicate their value in 30 seconds or less. When a company contacts a notary, they need a quick decision, okay? They're trying to decide quickly who they want to do this particular signing. So you need to be able to clearly articulate who you are, what you do, and why you are reliable, why they should select you. If you're over there humming and hawing and I don't know, I'm commissioned and certified, if that's all you've got, you're probably going to lose that opportunity. So again, the signs that companies see that proves to them that you are not able to clearly communicate with them is rambling or unfocused answers. You know, I used to teach children's church and I told people all the time, it doesn't matter how difficult the subject is, you should be able to give a quick 1 or 2 sentence explanation that even an elementary school child can understand. People who ramble, people who go on and on and on are usually rambling with an unfocused answer because they don't really have an answer. They're trying to fake you out. And trust me, people can see through it when you are rambling and when your answers are unfocused. They can clearly see that it's because you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. You can also, they can also see the signs when there is an overemphasis on your certification. Again, I know you're excited about being certified. Being commissioned and being certified is an awesome thing. It is an awesome step. But again, it's the basic, guys. That's what everybody has. Saying that, well, I'm commissioned and certified as though that is the end all be all shows a company pretty quickly. Oh, this person, you know, they really don't have anything else. You know, there's nothing more to them than that. When your communication is nervous or unclear, if you seem really scared or nervous, that again makes them think, this is not the person that I want to give business to. And if you cannot explain to a company why you are a safe choice as a signing agent, why should they pick you? If you can't tell them why you're a good choice, why should they pick you? So, what are our actionable steps to avoid this issue? The first thing you want to do is develop a concise, professional introduction. You should be able to summarize your services, your experience level, even if you're new, and your readiness quickly. And again, guys, this is an area, if you're not great at thinking these things up on your own, this is an area where AI, ChatGPT, that kind of thing can really help you in writing your professional introduction. You should write something, again, your elevator pitch that's about 30 to 60 seconds long. This should be memorized in a good way. It shouldn't sound like a robot, but you should be able to confidently give this information to people quickly. That makes them feel like, all right, this person knows what the heck they're talking about. You need to shift your language from your credentials. Again, it's awesome that you're commissioned. It's awesome that you're certified, but everybody is commissioned and certified. What do you have above that? You need to shift your language from just being your credentials to your actual execution. Focus on, especially if you're new, because again, you might say, well, I haven't done any signings. So what can I talk to people about? Focus on your accuracy. Focus on your reliability. Focus on your professionalism, because again, these are qualities that signing companies and title companies want to see that you possess before they give you business. The next actionable step is to practice verbal confidence. Guys, you see, I got the lady in the mirror. You need to be speaking these things. Don't just write it down. Don't just think it in your head, but you need to verbally, out loud, rehearse responses to common questions until it feels natural, because it's not going to feel natural at first. This is something new. So you need to make sure that you're rehearsing it, and you need to anticipate hiring questions. So you need to be able to provide clear answers about your availability, your equipment, like your printer and your scanner. You should be able to give clear answers about your coverage area. All of these different things you need to be able to give a concise, quick, clear answer about, because these are things companies are going to want to know about you. Woo! All right. As always, I have a lot of information. I'm like, I don't have enough time. But if any of you guys were listening to these reasons and you're realizing that nobody ever taught you how to actually execute signings, nobody ever taught you how to market yourself, nobody ever taught you how to operate like a professional, it's not your fault. Because again, we've got the social media hype that says all you need is a notary stamp and certified. Once you got your stamp and you certified, the business is just going to fall out of the sky. That's not how it happens. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I like looking at those videos. They're awesome. You know, they excite me sometimes, but that is not the real reality. And again, if you're new to this industry, it's not your fault that you don't know that it takes more, but I'm telling you now. So now you can't say that you didn't know. Here's the reality. And this is why just being commissioned and certified is not enough. Certification teaches you rules. We need to know the rules. But again, that's the baseline. Advanced training teaches execution. Execution is where the rubber meets the road. It's one thing to know the rules. Think about when you were driving, right? You take a written test and you take a practical test. It is one thing to know the rules of the road. It's one thing to know the law. It is another thing to actually get behind a car and drive that vehicle. Certification teaches rules. Advanced training teaches you execution. It teaches you how to drive. Mentoring provides knowledge and confidence. Talking with somebody, working with somebody who actually does this, they can provide you with the knowledge that you don't have yet because you're new. And knowledge will give you confidence. And this is why training programs like my Signing Agent Advanced Training Program is so important, because it bridges the gap between just being certified and what you actually need to get business. So again, guys, if any of you are interested, if you're saying to yourself after hearing all of this, I can't figure this out on my own, I need some help, I need some training, make sure you click the link down in the description box for information about my Signing Agent Advanced Training Program. Again, I want each and every one of you to be successful, but here's the reality. You cannot YouTube this. There is plenty of information on YouTube, but you need somebody to actually train and mentor you to truly be successful. So in my Signing Agent Advanced Training Program, I tell you step by step everything that you need to know to be an exceptional signing agent. I give you advanced video instruction. I give you sample documents with scripts so you'll learn what to say on each document. I tell you how to market for direct business. I tell you the mistakes that you need to avoid. And I am a mentor that you can actually reach out to for assistance. So again, if you're interested, click that link down in the description box for information about my Signing Agent Advanced Training Program. All right, so now we are in the Q&A, the question and answer portion of this video. Again, whether you are watching live or whether you are watching on the replay, go ahead, put your questions in the chat, put it in the comments, and I am going to do my best to answer all of those questions. And actually, I think I see a question here from Renee. How do we determine the decision makers at a title company? This is going to sound mind-breaking. You ask. I can tell you who they normally are, but again, every title office runs things a little bit different. All of the people that I named before can be decision makers, but every office runs things a little bit different. Sometimes the escrow officer is the one who makes that decision. Sometimes she passes that decision over to her assistant. Sometimes it is the manager of that entire, it can be any one of those people. It could be somebody else entirely who makes that decision. So the easiest way to find out is to simply ask. And this is another reason why I prefer to talk to people face to face or to go into an office and talk to people, because there's 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a receptionist. So you can ask the receptionist, hey, do you know who selects the signing agents that you guys use to do your signings. And she can tell you, oh, it's our scheduler. Oh, it's the escrow assistant. Oh, it's each individual escrow officer. They will let you know, but you need to ask because it's not going to necessarily be the same position at each office. Every title office runs things a little bit different. They all do things their own particular way. So the easiest way to find out is just to ask. And again, I know that sounds like, it's too simple. It can't be that simple. It really, really is. All you have to do is ask. All right, let me scroll up, see if there were any other questions. I saw some other folks came in letting me know what city and state they're from, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Let's see here. Should we ask for feedback on SnapDocs or signing platforms? So platforms, again, are not again, but because I don't think I told you guys in this video, but platforms just connect you to signing services. So I would ask for feedback from that signing service that actually hired you. SnapDocs is just a platform. It's a program. SnapDocs is not who hired you. SnapDocs is not who you sent the documents back to. You got the work from ABC signing service or 123 signing service. So yes, I would absolutely reach out to ABC signing service or 123 signing service and ask them for feedback because again, this is something that's going to set you apart from other signing agents. They're going to see, oh, this person is professional. They want to know what they can do to be even better for us in the future. And that is something that is going to want to make them use you more in the future. And so call them up, have a conversation, or you can send an email. Again, I tend to want to talk to people. That just makes it more personal for me, but you can also do this by email. It's better to do the way that you're going to be comfortable with. Either way works, but send an email. Send them a phone call, talk to them and ask for the feedback because again, that's going to demonstrate that you care about the business that you do with them and you want to make it as smooth, as seamless, and as error-free as possible. And most people are going to be excited about that and they're going to be excited to send you even more business in the future. All right, let's see if there was any other questions. We're reaching the 1 hour mark. I always do my best to keep this thing right at 1 hour, but let's see. When things are slow, I had to pivot and move away from loan signings and notary work, but I want to get back in. What advice would you give me? So again, my advice is that you cannot just sit on your credentials. You cannot think that just because you're commissioned and just because you are certified, that work is going to come to you. You have got to go out and market for business, whether you're marketing for title company business, whether you're marketing for signing service business, just having your commission, just being certified, just signing up on platforms, you're probably not going to get the amount of business that you want. So you need to shift your mindset. You need to realize that I've got to put in work to get work. Again, your job in the beginning is to market for business, and you're going to market for business hard until you have more business than you can handle. Just because 1 or 2 signing services or 1 or 2 title companies start sending you business, don't slack off on your marketing, okay? Especially if, let's say, you marketed and you reached out to some signing services and now you're getting some business from signing services. Keep marketing because you really want to market for direct business from title companies. You really want to market for that business because it's going to make you more money. So even though a lot of us don't like the marketing part of this, that's your job. So get your mindset together. Tell yourself, I'm going to go out, I'm going to market, and I'm going to market until I have more business than I can handle. And again, use the actionable steps that I gave in this video as a template, as a guide of the different things that you need to do to make sure that you are marketing and putting your best foot forward to get business from companies. All right, let's see if there's any other questions here in this live. Lynn had a statement, just said interested. I'm assuming you meant interested in my signing agent advanced training program. If that is the case, again, look down in the description box of the video. So underneath the video, underneath the title of the video is the description box. click on the word more, and there is a link for you to get information about my Signing Agent Advanced Training Program. There's also a link. I have a free webinar, guys. So if you're interested about my training program, but you're not sure if it's right for you, I encourage you, take that free webinar. You can get more information and ask more questions about my training program during that webinar. All right, guys. We are just at an hour. I'm doing good. I'm keeping it around the time frame that I wanted to keep it at. But again, guys, I am super, super excited to have seen each and every one of you for the first YouTube live here on Signing Agent Basics of 2026. If you guys have any specific things that you want me to talk about in upcoming videos, make sure that you put them in the comments. I will do my best to answer those questions for you. Again, make sure, guys, if there's any information that I said that I can give to you, make sure that you go down into the description box of this video to click the link to get that information. But thank you guys again so much for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that every one of you has a productive and profitable 2026. Bye, guys.